Hi, welcome back to Intuition Nutrition. I'm your host, Jennifer Hill, and I'm here today to teach you how to make a fun little snack, which is curried chickpeas. You've probably heard of chickpeas. You might have used them in hummus or whatever you're making at home. It's a really good way to pack in some protein and a plant-based protein. Today we're going to make it with a little kick. So you can either use dried chickpeas or you can use a can of chickpeas. This is from a can. All I did was rinse it out in a colander and then you pat it dry. And I'm just going to pour it into here. If you want to take the time to remove the skins, you know how chickpeas have this like little skin? It's totally edible. But if you feel like you want to remove them, go ahead. Otherwise, just leave them on. And now what you do at home, of course, my oven, we don't have an oven right here, but what you do at home is you lay them out on this sheet covered in aluminum foil. You lay them out on here, and then you put them in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. But while that's cooking for 20 minutes, I'm going to make the glaze, which is comprised of this honey. All you do is you take 1 teaspoon of honey. Now, I have a fun story about this honey. I was just recently lucky enough to take a trip to Spain where I bought this honey from a local beekeeper. And it's so good. It hasn't lasted very long. I mean, look at this jar. I just got back and it's almost gone. And then you take about a teaspoon of olive oil. Now I'm going to go to my little spice rack and grab the secret ingredients of Dijon mustard and curry powder. And of course a little sea salt. So I'm going to take a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. Any kind will do. This is organic, which is always a bonus if you can find it. Okay. And about a teaspoon of curry powder. More than that might just be a little more of a kick than you want. Although, hey, if you're into the spices, go for it. That's what I always say. All right. Now I'm going to stir it up. I'm just going to use my teaspoon. This is a little trick I do at home. If it's full of stuff, just use it to stir up. Look at that. It just makes a nice glaze that you can use to cover your chickpeas. And then when they're all toasty, they've absorbed this glaze. So it's like a sweet, spicy, not too much, perfect combination of sweet and spicy. Now imagine that I just took my chickpeas out of the oven, okay? For 20 minutes, they've been roasting a little bit. I'm going to pour them into the glaze and just toss them. Simple, you don't need fancy equipment, just take a couple spoons, toss them up. You could even, I thought about putting them in a jar and just shaking it up. Do a little dance, turn on the music, shake your buti, but we're gonna talk about that later with my fabulous guest. But so this, it's pretty much all coated. There goes a runaway chickpea. It's all right, taking one for the team. So once you've coated it all, you just spread it out on the cookie sheet again. And you just spread it out so that they're nice and, they're not like touching or on top of each other. They're just kind of spread out on the pan. Gosh, 1 can of chickpeas doesn't look like a lot, does it, when it's on a big tin? So you put it back in at 400 degrees for another 10 minutes. You check it. You move it around if it looks like it's getting a little bit burnt or crispy, and then you take it out between 10 and 15 minutes. So a total of 20 minutes before you glaze them, 10 to 15 minutes after you glaze them. And you can start to hear them rattle in the pan when they're almost done. It's kind of fun. You kind of hear this little rattle in the pan. When they're done, you let them cool, and then you have this fabulous treat, which I can't wait to share with my guest today, Erica Rock. I also have created this drink for us because you can't have a snack without something to drink. This is water with frozen blueberries picked from my mother's garden. Now, I think that this is easy enough for you to try at home. The one step that I forgot to mention is that when you take it out of the pan, you just want to add a little bit of sea salt over the top. It gives it just that little extra flavor. Okay, so that's easy to do. Very few ingredients. Try this at home. Now let me ask you this. What in the world grows only in Northern California in a rainbow of colors and is powerful And even the most devout crystal worshipers have no idea what it is. Stay tuned and you'll find out. I'm off to meet my guest. I can't wait to introduce you to this fabulous guest. Her name is Erica Rock, and we're going to talk in a second about what she has to offer. But first, I'd like to offer her a taste of what I've just made, the chickpeas. Erica,
yes.
You want to try?
Yes, I do. I've been waiting.
I know.
I'm like, can I reach down and...
Okay, well here, take as much as you want, and I have this water just with frozen blueberries, you know, in case you need a little wet whistle.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Let me know what you think.
They smell incredible. These are perfect driving in the car treats.
Yes. Yep. It's almost like the kind of thing you might have popcorn or peanuts or something, but you can...
Yeah, I need to get off my kettle corn at night addiction, so maybe I can switch to this. Perfect. Oh, those are so good. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. And feel free to just reach down and grab as much as you want. I'm going to have a little sip of this fruit water, which, by the way, is a great way to get in some vitamins and antioxidants in your water.
This is nice.
Thank you. Okay. So, Erica Rock.
Yes,
welcome.
Jennifer.
I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. So I introduced you as someone who could tell us more about this beautiful colored gem that grows in Northern California.
Yes.
Do you want to just open with that? Because
I would love to.
I'm going to ask you more about you because I think you have a lot to tell. But these stones are just staring us in the face, so we have to talk about them.
They're so happy to be here right now. They're called Andara crystals. And they're found in Northern California on a woman's land. Her name is Lady Nellie. She has since passed, but they're recently discovered within the last like 20 to 30 years. They're here to help with the shift that's occurring on the planet, the ascension, and helping people wake up. So for people that are drawn to crystals, I feel that, because I was working with a lot of very high vibrational crystals before I met the Andara, and it's like the crystals I had been working with were preparing me for these. Their vibration is just out of this world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you explain a little bit in layman terms when you say they're preparing us for the shift? For people who don't quite understand what that means.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty obvious that there's a mass awakening happening on the planet. People are waking up to who and what they really are. People are having very interesting spiritual experiences. Even normal people are just starting to have experiences of seeing and hearing spirits or being aware of sensing energy.
Becoming more intuitive?
Yes, much more intuitive, feeling a deeper connection with nature and animals and the universe at large. So that's kind of what's happening in the Andara here to help us with that. Connect with Source, bring about feelings of oneness, openness, expansion, things like that.
Wow, so how do you use them?
You use them just like you would other crystals. You can sit and meditate, hold one in each hand, lay them on your body or put them around you. Actually, my favorite way to work with them is to sleep with them.
Awesome.
Yes, we stuff them underneath our pillowcase and sleep with them. Andara work right on your DNA, so they give you extremely wild dreams. Like, there aren't words to explain it, but lucid dreams, very real dreams. And
how do they help you prepare for a shift or an awakening, or do they just help push you more towards that?
Oh, that's such a good question. It seems to me that, like when I first came into contact with the Andara, I had a certain amount of intuition available to me and a certain amount of feeling connected. When I started working with these, everything opened up so much more. My meditations were deeper, my mind became clearer, less mental chatter. So when my heart had an idea of something it wanted to do, my mind and heart were not at war, and it was just easier for me to live from my heart. The heart was guiding me towards something. I knew how to execute, and these are all things that I noticed after working with the Andara. Did I answer your question?
Absolutely, and I was just looking out to the audience saying, like, who wouldn't want that?
Right.
You know, for your heart and your mind to connect.
Exactly.
That's
Instead
amazing.
of being at war, you know, the heart wants something, and then the mind tells you all the reasons why you can't have it, or goes into doubt and all that kind of stuff.
I know. And
that's gone now. I don't have that.
So many times people say, I know it here, but I just can't bring it here.
Right, right. So these really do help with that. And the intuition piece is huge. I don't know how people live without really good intuition. So, yeah.
Wow. So you've always had some intuition, some abilities.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. I was born very, well, what you would call a sensitive, and now we have a word for it, an empath. And there are more empaths on the world than we've ever seen before. And that kind of brought its own set of challenges, because I was like a little sponge, sponging up everyone's thoughts, feelings, vibrations, energies. I had no idea where I ended and someone else began. So being in, like, going to the grocery store, the post office was like completely stressful and overwhelming.
Yes.
Because I had no idea how to manage my gift. It felt like a curse at the time. So
of course, if you didn't know.
Yeah, no, I didn't know. And that's actually what led me to my spiritual journey. Is I was in suffering. I was like, this is no way to live. I'm full of anxiety all the time. Like, every time I ventured out my house, it was scary. And I know how the challenge empaths have.
Yes.
So that led me on my journey. So suffering is actually a very good catalyst. It can be.
It can be, and a huge teacher as well.
Yes, it can.
So now you are a healer.
Yes.
Right? So talk a little bit about what you do to help people. I know you've got multiple passions in different ways.
Well, I started off as a Reiki master, and that once I became a Reiki master, you know, it's like that energy completely, again, opens you up, and you start to feel more connected. Quickly after that, I started to very fast attract a lot of other teachers, healers, spiritual masters that could further initiate me and open me up further. And that kind of catalyzed in a final initiation. I think it was in 2009. I was initiated to become a channel for divine grace, which initiates your awakening process or deepens it for those that have already awakened, so that they can embody that.
So divine grace, does that just refer to the spirit of the universe, or can you?
Grace is a gift freely given. So when people start to receive this energy, they notice that their life, they feel that deeper connection. And once you have that connection, life tends to go easier overall without you working on it. I actually call this the path of no work, because I ask people, stop working on yourself, stop focusing on all that you want to change, and get out of the fixing, healing, clearing loop, and start living.
Okay.
Go out and live, do the things you love. That brings more happiness. And when more happiness attracts more things to be happy about. So it can be a very different path than most.
And you also offer classes on yoga, and do other classes such as, you know, spiritual teachings, or?
We do a lot of classes about law of attraction, because the energy of grace really makes law of attraction come to life, because it really radically opens people up to receive all the blessings the universe wants to give them. So,
because the universe wants to give us blessings,
exactly.
Right? That's the thing that's hard to sometimes see.
Yeah, a lot of times there's a worthiness issue. And really, if people want to work on anything, work on opening to receive.
Opening to receive.
Just open to receive it.
It's really not rocket science, is it?
It's so easy, we make it hard.
Yeah. So can I hold one of these to see?
Please, yes.
Okay.
They love to be held and loved
you.
and cherished and adored.
Now, do the different colors signify anything, or are they different?
I have two answers. So typically with normal crystals, we love to have a little chart with this crystal is called this and it does this, right?
Yes.
With Andaras break all the rules. They're kind of like master beings in stone form, and they do for you exactly what you're ready for in any given time. Doesn't matter the color. Now, with that said, I have noticed certain patterns that when people work with the pink, they do have more self-love, forgiveness, compassion, things like that, that we would associate with pink. So, but there aren't any hard and fast rules with Andara. So
they don't follow necessarily the chakra colors?
They don't.
Okay. And why are they colored? Like, what does that, how does that happen? I know you said they grow on this woman's land.
Yes.
How do they come up with different colors?
Okay, I know that's a question most people ask. So in the earth are these veins of Etherium powder, and Etherium is comprised of over 70 trace minerals. So it's filled with monatomic gold, platinum, silver, copper, 70 of them. I'm not going to list them all. And when the Etherium is heated to high temperatures from natural earth occurrences, that powder transmutes to this glass-like substance that we call Andara crystal. So it's an alchemical process, and depending on what the ratio of the minerals is in the powder is going to give them their color.
And how long does it take for this to create?
I have no idea. I have no idea. There's so much mystery around them, to be honest with you, so I don't know that.
Well, that's fine. You don't need to know that.
I don't know.
They're beautiful. So do you sell them as well as use them in your practices?
Yes, I do. I'm a big facilitator in helping them find their owners and get to work. When I met them, they were almost in a panic. They had been kind of waiting for me, and they were like, we need to get to work. No one knows who we are or what we are. Like, bring as many home and give us away. And
I love this personification of the stone. I mean, it shows that you really do, that you have connected with them.
They're like family.
Is it hard for you when you give them away or sell them?
I have had to learn so much non-attachment when it comes to the Andara. Certain ones will show up at my house. I'm like, how am I ever going to part with you? And there's been some tears, you know.
Is this an Andara, your necklace?
Yes. This is an oceanic blue-green Andara, and I chose to wear this because it's very good for opening the throat and self-expression, so I figured it would be appropriate.
I love it. It's beautiful. Watch out, because I might steal it right off your neck.
I know. People have wanted to.
That's going to be like the ultimate bad karma, stealing someone's Andara.
Oh, very naughty. Yeah, that's naughty.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding, guys. I would never steal you. So I'm really excited that you do have this yoga background too, because as you know, we do a little yoga in the show.
Yes.
So would you mind leading us in some today?
Sure.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind at all.
There's something that I don't think I've mentioned to you, is that, well, you'll understand because you're surrounded by all this amazing energy, but we use magic.
Okay.
On the show.
Fabulous.
So, yeah, and I don't even need a magic wand because I can even feel, I mean, can't you just feel the energy here?
Yes.
Yeah, so they're going to help us change.
It's buzzy.
Yeah,
very
it's a little buzzy. And I promise this is just water in our.
It is just water.
So they're going to help us change into our yoga clothes right here, like that.
Like that.
Okay?
I love it.
Do you have a magic word or anything that you want to say?
Abracadabra.
Perfect, works for me. So on the count of 3, we'll say abracadabra.
Okay.
And the stones will help us hopefully change into the correct clothes. Are you ready?
I like that one.
1, 2, 3.
Abracadabra.
Abracadabra. Oh, see? It worked.
How did that happen?
I don't know, but those stones are pretty powerful.
Like, it's like a magic carpet. Woo! All right.
So Erica, the kind of yoga that you teach is called buti yoga.
Yes, B-U-T-I
okay,
yoga.
So not like junk in the trunk.
Not
like
shake your booty yoga, though we do a little booty shaking in our class. Yeah.
Awesome. Can you tell me a little bit, like, what is buti yoga? How is it different from other yogas?
Okay, well, buti yoga is a fusion of yoga, cardio, plyometrics, and tribal dancing. So, you know, when people think of yoga, they think of really, you know, calm and mellow music. We play the latest music, you know, heart pumping, plyometric. It's high intensity. Awesome. It's very different from normal yoga. It's not your mama's yoga.
It's not. Because in this case I'm the mama, but
well, mamas do yoga, this kind of yoga. So.
No, I know what you mean though. I'm excited to try it. So I'm a little nervous. Can you tell us what we're going to do?
So what we're going to do today is we're going to start in downward dog, and then we're going to move into kind of like a flow of coming into warrior one, and doing some Tahitian hip circles, really engaging the core, and then moving into warrior two while we continue to spiral the hips and engage the core. Then we'll do reverse warrior, then cartwheeling forward into plank, circling the hips all the way down into cobra, and then we'll do the other side.
Okay, well, I'm going to follow your lead, teacher.
Okay.
All right, but you're saying that the Tahitian hip circles are good for your core?
Very good for the core and very good for opening up the hips.
Okay.
And the lower back.
Oh, good. So there's a lot of benefits to this.
There is a lot of benefits to this,
and it sounds like it's fun, too.
It is fun.
Too bad we didn't have music playing in the background.
I know. We usually do have some major heart-pumping music. So.
Maybe I can work some magic, put on some music.
Well, that would be nice.
Okay. All right, so you take the lead.
All right, so we'll just rock forward, come into our downward dog position, and maybe come up on the balls of your feet, and then inhale, exhale, melt the heels to the floor. Let's do just a couple more of these. Great. And then inhale, right toes up. Exhale, drop the foot to the side, open up the hip. Try to stack the hips and point the toe. Like this. Very good. And bring the right leg forward, coming into warrior one. Oh, move the hair out of the way. Arms up, square the hips, engage the core, arms tight and strong, and then we'll begin our hip circles. It's just a very little movement.
Like belly dancing almost.
Yes. And this really, like you're engaging your core all the way around. And then we move into warrior two, strong arms, sink into that right leg and look over the right palm. Then static hold. Reverse your warrior. Then cartwheel it forward. And I didn't do that very gracefully. Circle the hips. And then start to lower yourself into four-limb staff. Hold for a couple seconds. Then come into cobra. Push the shoulders away from the ears. Open up the throat. Tuck the toes under downward dog. Then lift the left leg. Drop the foot open, open up the hip. Bring the left leg through, coming into warrior one. Okay. Arms up, sink low into that left leg. Square the hips, square the chest. Begin circling the hips. And I would look over at you, but I'm afraid I'll lose my balance.
It's okay, I can see you, that's what's important.
Good. Then come into warrior two, keep circling. Do you feel that in your core?
You know what, I really can.
Then static hold. Reverse your warrior. Cartwheel it through. And circle your hips the opposite direction, all the way down.
Okay, I don't really remember which way, but
well, it's okay. Then cartwheel it through, cobra, and downward dog. Woo. There you go.
Awesome. That was fun.
Yes.
And I definitely feel like the heart started pumping there.
I know, and we weren't even really moving that fast, so if you can imagine adding some heart pumping music and doing some cardio sprints in between all that, it's quite a workout.
So where can people find you if they want to try this booty yoga?
I'm right in downtown Dover, New Hampshire at Surya Yoga and Holistic Center.
Is that your own center?
It's my center, yes.
That's so cool. And where in Dover, is it on Central Ave or?
Yes, 453 Central Ave. I'm right near Just the Thing. That cute little refurbished store, yeah.
Okay.
I'm right down,
is
two doors down from her, yes. I'm downstairs in the heart of Gaia. I like it down in the basement offices, yeah.
Perfect.
Grounding.
Very grounding.
Exactly.
And how about online? Do you have a website we can?
Yeah, suryayogaholisticcenter.com.
Perfect. So go check it out, everybody. This is the new thing, booty yoga.
It is.
And it sounds like it's a lot of fun. Her classes are generally pretty popular, right?
They are getting more popular. Booty is super popular on the West Coast. We're a little behind in the times here, so a lot of my job is getting the word out.
Right, and you're the only buti yoga instructor, right?
I am the only
Hampshire?
buti instructor.
So-
We need more if anyone wants to get certified. Come talk to me.
There you go. Erica Rock can help you get your information to get certified to be buti yoga, or even just try it. Well, I'm going to definitely come and check it out.
Good.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. It's
such a
been
pleasure.
fun.
Yeah, and also the Andara stones, if people want to contact you about those, is it the same website?
They can actually go to andaraawakening.com.
Okay. Is that yours?
Yes.
Your website? Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jennifer.
I'll check in with you another time and see how it's all going, because this is
Okay.
really fun. Lots of new stuff. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Come back again for more food for your heart, body, mind, everything you can imagine. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Boy, look at me in my face. Tell me that you're not just about this.